Phew, that was close. I canceled my SPY Iron Condor just in time because of news that's probably going to come out later today, Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. So normally how you make the most money on Iron Condors is you want volatility to be high right now and then settle down. So then you can capture the premium now and then the price remains stable in the future. But I think that the opposite is going to happen. I think volatility is going to be around here and then it's going to spike in the future. Because later today, the Supreme Court will likely rule on whether President Trump's tariffs were legal or not, or some degree of where they'll decide how these presidential powers relating to tariffs will be decided in the future, and how they'll interpret the laws regarding that. The Supreme Court will likely make a decision on this topic at around 10 a.m. Eastern later today on Wednesday. And so I think that either way, the volatility will increase after their decision. Now, I think volatility will it might go down if tariffs are upheld, because it kind of keeps the status quo of what's been happening the past several months. And if they strike it down, then I think that it's going to really throw a wrench into the economy, because we were relying on those billions and billions of dollars as refunds to the American people. And it's also already been priced into the markets. So I think a strike down of that would definitely shake things up. Although I looked into the law a little bit and the arguments for tariffs, and it's actually fairly broad language in those laws. So I can actually see them upholding at least part of it to a certain degree. They might split the difference somehow and approve maybe tariffs up to a certain percentage, or maybe to a certain length of time to qualify for an emergency. By the way, betting markets think that there's a 25 to 30% chance that the tariffs will be upheld. So most of the public think that the tariffs in some capacity will be struck down. And so that would lead to a higher volatility, I think, in the VIX. This line down here is going to go up. It's going to go in that trend. And also, it's bouncing off around a low of like 13.5, 13, 14. And that's in the last 3 months. That's the lowest mark right there. It's been increasing slightly leading up to the Supreme Court decision, and maybe some other things like job reports and stuff like that. So if we look at the options on the VIX, we can try and pick something that we think is going to happen in the future. So I think personally that the VIX is going to increase. So it's going to go up. Maybe not, but maybe it will. We do put credit spread. Alright, so I decided to back it up to a shorter distance in the future. Usually the range I was looking at are usually good, but I'm looking at them. The premiums just aren't really there, and the risk to reward ratio isn't really there. So I decided to go a week out from today, saying that I think the VIX is going to stay above, say, 14.5 index points. So we can click on this one, for example. Risk to reward ratio, I'm fine with that. It would have to drop down 8.25% before I start to lose money. And we can click continue. Put in 1 at 0.10, so $10. Estimated credit $9. And this is our little profit and loss chart. And so I'll put this in for the morning, only $50 collateral. So I might do a few more different spreads at different strike prices and maybe different dates. I'll have to explore it. And then I'll show you at the end which ones I did. Okay, so here you can see the different VIX put credit spreads I put out there. We have them expiring on a few different dates, so we can look into these. So we got 14.5 to 15, expiring 121. 15.5 to 16, expiring on 121. 14 to 15, expiring on 211. And then 14 to 15, expiring on 218. So just to get some exposure to this news, hopefully it will go in my favor. I'm not going too crazy on them. And plus, there's just not, I'm surprised, there's not that much premium juiciness there. And I don't want to go too close to the current strike price. So that's my plan for this. What do you guys think? How are you going to plan out to handle the market's reaction to whichever decision the Supreme Court makes? What are you going to do? Let me know in the comments.